Hello, everybody, and welcome to day one of the online Teacher Kickstart Bootcamp. Okay, so today is day one, and we're going to be running this for 3 days. So for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll be back. Same link every night. And same time every night. So once you've registered once, you can use that link again to join every single night. Okay. So day one of the online Teacher Kickstart Bootcamp is online teaching right for you? And that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. We're going to look and see if online teaching is right for you. Maybe you've started already, maybe you haven't started yet, maybe you're still thinking about it and you're not quite sure yet. Please say hello in the chat box and let me know where you guys are joining from. Okay, this is going to be an interactive, very interactive bootcamp. So you guys are going to have to do a little bit of work tonight and over the next few nights. Okay, so let me know in the chat box where you guys are from. Let's have a look. Okay, we have Cape Town in the house, Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg. I'm from Port Alfred in the Eastern Cape, Pretoria, Cape Town, Joburg, East London. Okay, awesome. Rustenburg, Gomo from Secundu, Rustenburg, Port Shepstone in KZN, Lesotho, welcome. Cape Town, Limpopo, Pretoria, Johannesburg, Secunda. Oh, a second person from Secunda. I see you there. My aunt lives there. Nairobi, Free State. Okay, awesome. Great, guys. Welcome to everybody, and thanks so much for joining. At the end of the bootcamp, there will be a chance to ask some questions, but as we go along, you can ask questions in the chat box, and I will answer questions as we go through the bootcamp. So it will be really, really interactive. Okay, so type in the chat if you haven't done that already, your name, what country you're from, or what city you're from. I see nearly everybody here is from South Africa. I saw one Lesotho, and I think I saw someone from Nairobi. Okay, and then this is your second thing that you need that you can put into the chat is, are you new to teaching or are you already teaching? So you can put in the chat new, beginner, or already teaching. So even if you are joining us on the replay, you can pop it in the comments. You can put it in the comment section there. So let's see where everybody's from. Esther from Nigeria, Pretoria. New. Okay, so lots of you are new teachers. 10 years experience in classroom teaching. Okay, I also come from a classroom teaching background. New teacher from Cape Town. Beginner. Good. Okay. No online teaching experience, new teacher. Okay, I haven't seen anyone that's already teaching online that's on here. Is there anybody that's already teaching? 1 year classroom experience, new. Okay, so it looks like most of you are new. Starting January 2026, one student. Awesome. Well done on starting. I'm already teaching online. Okay, D's already teaching online. 10 years experience, no online teaching. Okay, great. South Africa. Okay, awesome. Welcome to everybody. Okay, so let's have a look and see. We're still busy being interactive. Okay, so what made you join tonight? So be honest. What made you join? Why are you interested in online teaching? Type the number in the chat box. Okay, so number 1 is extra income. Sorry, just trying to let there's some more people here. Number 1 is extra income. Number 2 is work from home. Number 3 is flexible schedule. Number 4 is career change. Number 5 is something new. Okay, 2 and 5, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 5. 2, 3, 4, career change. Okay. 1 and 2, extra income, work from home. 5, something new. Esther, interested in online teaching, income, and working from home. Okay, if you're joining us with the replay, pop it into the comment section as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm going to pop the YouTube channel link here in the comment box. So if you guys all just click on that and save it, just you can subscribe to it. All the replays are going to be up on that YouTube channel. So you want to be saving that. There's also a lot of information on the YouTube channel, like all the info on TEFL certificates, because I know sometimes I come on to do boot camps and people ask so many questions about TEFL. Okay, I'm not specifically going into TEFL, and I'm definitely not going into it tonight. But you'll see on the TEFL, on the YouTube channel, there's 3 different videos all about TEFL and different TEFL certificates that you could try. And if you need a TEFL certificate, and the difference between TEFL, tesol, and celta. Okay, so that's on the YouTube channel. There's just so much info. So go onto the YouTube channel. So just save that link and just subscribe to it. And then you'll be able to go on there and check it out later. And as I said, all the replays and that are going to be on there as well. Okay, 2, 4, and 5. I have 120 TEFL certificate. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so what we'll do tonight. So tonight's kind of like an introduction. So by the end of tonight, you're going to know if online teaching is right for you, because that's kind of what we want to establish right in the beginning. What online teaching actually looks like compared to what you think it might look like. And what do you really need to start? And the biggest beginner mistakes to avoid. Okay, that's kind of what we're looking at tonight. And tomorrow we're going to go into things like introduction videos, demo lessons, resumes. We're going to have a look at the full picture of everything. But for tonight, this is kind of what we are going into. Okay, let's have a look at some reasons why you might want to become an online teacher. Okay, so reason number 1 is this is like one of the reasons why. Sorry, I just want to clear my board quickly. Okay, number 1 is you're already an online ESL teacher. Maybe you lost your job due to the new laws in China, or since that happened, you've faced pay cuts, which drastically the pay went down in a lot of different places, and reduced teaching hours due to mass quantities of teachers queuing up for your position. Okay, so a whole lot of companies, ESL companies, closed down in China. They weren't allowed to operate anymore, and so a lot of teachers lost their jobs, or a lot of those teachers had to go and start looking for positions elsewhere. Okay, and what happened was that instead of the old rates, the rates got dropped low. Okay, so maybe you fall into that bracket and you're wanting to upskill yourself so you can get out of earning a really bad salary, and maybe you want to earn a bit of it. You want that to change. Okay, let's look at reason number 2. Reason number 2, we've got you're an in-classroom or a traditional teacher who is tired of teaching back-to-back lessons with little free time, and now you want to take your skills out of the classroom, okay, and into the online world by creating your own freedom-filled online teaching business so that you can have more time and money freedom. Okay, maybe that is you. Or maybe you're an educator at heart and you want to get started as an online ESL teacher, but you're just not sure how to go about it. Okay, like you're completely new to this, but you really want to start teaching online. Okay, so where do you fit in? Do you fit into number 1, an online ESL teacher who's tired of the low pay and high stress environment of working for a company that doesn't value your services? Or are you number 2, you're a traditional teacher who wants to take the skills online by starting as an online teacher? Or do you fit into number 3, which I can see is coming out really strong tonight, and is that you're an educator at heart and you want to find out how to go about getting started as an ESL teacher? I see a lot of 3s coming up here. Okay, there's 1, 2, 2 2s. Okay, I haven't seen any 1s. Okay, so most of you fit into the number 3 bracket, that you're an educator at heart and you want to find out how to go about getting started. Okay, there's a number 1, D. Okay, and number 2, I've seen a couple of number 2s, a traditional teacher who wants to take their skills online by starting as an online teacher. Okay, moving on. Okay, so there's 2 different paths that you could take. Okay, so you could choose not to start ESL because you're scared, or for whatever reason you decide not to start. Okay, you continue working for a school, or you continue working for a company where you feel stuck, and you stay in your current situation of being overworked and underpaid. Sorry, I just want to let somebody in. Okay, you don't upskill yourself to stretch beyond the confinements of traditional teaching. You stay an employee who works hard just to fill someone else's pocket, and you continue to lack freedom and have only 2 weeks of vacation per year. You feel uninspired, you feel demotivated and unhappy. And in a year from now, you find yourself in exactly the same position, right? So like, if you don't do something about it, like this time next year, you're thinking, oh, I should have started this a year ago, because now I'm exactly the same as what I was a whole year ago, where I could be a whole year down the road. Things could be different. Or you choose path number 2, where you decide to start teaching online and start your journey towards your own teaching business. Okay, so you get to decide what, where, who, and how you teach. You claim back your power as a teacher, and you commit to making life-altering changes in the way you teach and live. You create your own schedule, and you make your own rules, and you upskill yourself to stretch beyond the confinements of traditional teaching. You invest in yourself through learning business and marketing skills, and you invest in your education through mentors, business coaches, and courses. I love that, Leanne. I always wanted to travel. Okay, that's a really good reason. You love what you teach, you become inspired, and you become motivated by the world of opportunities that's available to you. And in a year's time, you say, what do you think? Wow, I realized that I've had this power in my hand all along, and you are in awe of the life that you have created for yourself. Okay, so which path do you want to go down? I definitely don't want to go down path number 1. So which path will you choose? Are you going to choose path number 1, where you don't start teaching online and you continuously feel overworked, uninspired, unhappy, stressed, and unfulfilled? Or do you go down path number 2, where you start teaching online and you work towards creating a life by your own design, and you create your dream life with freedom, time, and money as a teacher, right? I can just see 2s coming out here. I don't see anything else. If you're watching the replay, pop it in the comments. Let me have a look, because I am going to go through the replay and check all the comments afterwards. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Great, guys. Okay. And teaching online, it might be difficult in the beginning when you first get started. But once you get into it and you get going, it's a path to freedom. Financial freedom and time freedom. Okay, so take a moment to imagine what your life will be like if you escape the current restraints that you are maybe in now, and you could start a teaching business, because ultimately that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming to have a teaching business. Okay, maybe you start with an ESL company in the beginning because it gives you the experience that you need, but eventually you want to move on to a marketing platform and to eventually teaching independently. And that's your ticket to having a teaching business that allows you more time and more money freedom. So it can help you to create the life by your own design, so you can control how much you work and earn, And that's what you can work towards as an online teacher. Like, this is my 6th year of doing it. And I have private students now, a lot of private students, and I work on a marketing platform. I work for Amazing Talker. And sometimes I help out on a Chinese moms group. But I just wanted to give you an example. Like last week, my granddaughter was in hospital, my older granddaughter. She's 5 years old, and she had to be in hospital for, I think she was in hospital for 4 days. She has a little sister who is 2 years old, and obviously little sister couldn't go with to hospital. So I was able to rearrange my schedule so that I could be at home to look after the little one while mommy could concentrate on being with my older granddaughter. And that's what teaching online allows you, because once you get to that stage, you have the freedom to be able to move your schedule around, to be able to change things, because things happen in life and you want to be able to be there for your family, or you want to be able to take that time off when you do need it, or to be able to shift things around and move maybe some of your things. You don't want to be in that structure where you have to ask a boss off the whole time. Okay. And that is what the great thing is about it. Okay. But it doesn't come easy. Learning the skills and the knowledge is really essential to becoming a successful online teacher, and then moving to becoming like a business owner, which is the golden ticket to the freedom that you desire. Okay. And online teaching business will allow you to earn what you're worth, and it's going to free up your time so that you can spend more time with your loved ones and do things that you are really passionate about. But the first step is getting prepared so that you can get hired as an online teacher. Okay, so that's the first step, is to be able to get hired. Okay, so when I started, I honestly didn't know what companies were looking for. And I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. Really, I did. Things became much easier once I understood the process and I had the right guidance along the way. But in the beginning, the first day was a disaster when I first started teaching, because I started with a company. I started with Adcasoc, and they did all this training and everything with us, and they trained us on their platform that you teach on. But they never said that you also get lessons on Classroom. So I didn't even have Classroom loaded onto my computer at all. And the first day came for teaching, and I had these students, and suddenly I saw, okay, well, this lesson is not on the A classroom. This lesson is now on Classroom, and I don't have this loaded. And I actually had to miss the lesson because I didn't have the software loaded. Okay, so that was a terrible start, and it was so awkward. Okay, and so now I have formulated a step-by-step strategy and guide to help new online teachers get ahead and get started quicker, so you can start benefiting from your business a lot faster. So you don't have to go through all the teething pains that I had to go through when I was there. Okay, so I'm Kathy. I have 2 online teaching businesses. Okay, one where I help teachers to get started and to get hired, and one is actual teaching. I love traveling and reading and meeting people from different countries. I love family life and having time to spend with my family. I love setting goals and achieving them and helping others to do the same. And for me, that's always been a really important thing, setting goals and helping others to do that. I'm extremely passionate about helping teachers create freedom in their lives and the way that they teach. I started my first online teaching job in 2019, so I've been around the block. For the first few months, I taught at an ESL company, and then I moved away from doing that to working at a marketing platform, as I said, which allowed me to earn way more per hour. And I've helped hundreds of teachers earn an income online, because the one company that I worked for, I was a mentor on that and an interviewer on that. So I helped many teachers get started and start earning an income. And then I started my own business. Here's some of my kiddies I've had for a really long time. And some of them have been with me for 5 years, this little boy. has been with me since 2020. Okay, so where I started teaching back-to-back lessons in a traditional school where I was smiling all day, feeling unfulfilled, hated working in a school afterwards. I needed a change. It felt like I was on a hamster wheel just going round and round and round with like no end in sight. But now I've created two great businesses. I create my own schedule and I can schedule my work to fit around my lifestyle. Okay, not my lifestyle to fit around my work. I stopped trading my time for less money and I have control over my income and schedule. And that's what I want to help you guys to get there. But the first step is getting hired, right? And then growing your business so that you can get eventually to the higher paying jobs. So let me know in the comments, okay, because I've been talking for too long here now without you guys saying anything. Let me know in the comments, would it change your life if you could start earning an income from the comfort of your home or from anywhere in the world? Drop a hell yes in the comments if you're ready and excited to achieve this for yourself. And I hope to see a lot of hell yeses here. Okay, good job. Okay, so I see a lot of hell yeses coming up. Okay, so let's get you guys started. Okay, great. And I love the way that you guys are being so interactive. It's amazing. If you guys are watching the replay, then drop a hell yes in the comment section too. Okay. Often when we want to start something though, we often think, okay, you full on go in for something and then you have those limiting beliefs, right? Let that come and pop up and they whisper in our ear and they will end up not doing something because of those limiting beliefs. Like maybe you think to yourself, and maybe this has been holding you back. I don't have the skills or I don't have the knowledge to start teaching online. Like I don't know where to start or I don't know what to do. I don't know where to learn about starting an online teaching business. And I'm just not cut out for being an online teacher. Okay, maybe this is you. Okay, maybe you fit into this bracket over here. Okay. Or maybe you think I need to have more qualifications and degrees to start my own business. Like if I want to start my own teaching business, I need a business study degree or I need more time to gain more experience before I start. And that stops you from actually starting because you think, okay, I first need this and then I need to do that and I need to do this and I need to get this. And then before you look at it, you've been procrastinating for so long that time goes by and you still haven't started. I need to work, or you think maybe I need to work for a lower rate first so I can build up my experience, but I can't afford to work for such a low rate because then I can't pay my bills. Or maybe you think that like now it's just not the time to start a teaching business. Like I'm going to start my teaching business next year. I don't have time right now. Having an online business is risky. I don't have money to start a business. Okay. Maybe you guys have had some of these limiting beliefs. Let me know in the comments if you've had any limiting beliefs and that's what stopped you from getting started. Let me know. Have you had self-doubts while thinking about getting started to teach online? I definitely had self-doubt. Okay. I think self-doubt, like we often think that we're going to start something and then you start doubting yourself. Okay. Self-doubt's coming up already. And I think the fear of failure, I know that is like such a big thing. Like for a lot of people, the fear of failure is like you always think like what are people going to think about me? Like I'm starting something new again. What if it doesn't work? What are my friends? What are my family? What are they going to say about me? Like often we have that fear, the fear of failing, the fear of not being able to do it. I feel like I don't have enough time and thinking that I won't make enough money when I get started. Not getting enough students, self-doubt, not knowing where to begin. Okay, these are all like really things. I'm not tech savvy. Wow. Okay, and I tell you, tech savviness is like that really holds people back. And there's so many people out there that are just like you that are not tech savvy. And I would say with the tech, like the more you do something, the easier it becomes. Like you just have to like start and you have to just put yourself out there and you learn as you go. And then you end up being the tech kind of comes, like you start learning all of those things. I lost my job at tesol as a Secunda in 2024. Okay, so Leanne, you need to do something else, right? Okay, self-doubt. Clueless about where to start. Money is the key to open business door. Okay, and sometimes we think that can be a thing that holds us back because we think, I don't have money. Like I don't have money to buy my laptop. I don't have money to buy the headphones. I don't have money to do my background. I don't have money for this and that. And that holds you back as well. I fail to do the video and then I tell myself that I'm not ready. Yes, self-doubt. Okay. And it's also like you just stall and stall and stall and you don't get started. And I think that's like really a thing, is like to stop procrastinating and think, stop saying tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. Set yourself a goal and then start getting it. Like Lynn, questioning about resigning from the school environment. You could maybe start both in the beginning. Like maybe you could start part-time in the beginning, like build up your, that's what I did when I stopped like teaching at a school. Kind of built up my clients first, like I built up some of the stuff and then I resigned after that. Okay, where do you start? Okay, like where do we begin? Like how do I get started? That's like such a big thing. I want to invest in myself and get out of my comfort zone. Corporate burnout is real. You know, corporate burnout is real. Okay, and so is teacher burnout. Like for those that have been working for years and years in schools, like you get to that stage where you're like completely burnt out. And that's how I was like after teaching for 25 years in a school. So if you're serious about becoming successful online, then you need to have a willingness to learn. Okay. You have to learn the skills, you have to learn the knowledge, and you have to implement it in your own journey. I've already resigned from burnout. Okay. You have to have grit, you have to have tenacity and a deep desire to make this work, because I can tell you it's not easy in the beginning. Like there'll be so many days where maybe you want to give up because you think this is really hard. But you have to have your goals and set your goals and think about, okay, this is why I'm doing this. This is the reason I am busy doing this. And hopefully this training is going to help you make that shift and create the success that you need to believe in yourself too. Because believing in yourself is the key. Okay, it helps you to get started, to stop that procrastinating. Okay, make it happen. Work hard, dream big. Okay, have a big dream, like a massive, massive, massive dream. And then you have to think, okay, how am I going to make this happen? Like work hard to make that dream happen. Burnout. There's so many people that are in that same situation with the burnout. Okay. Has anybody here, I just want to know about this. Okay, so has anybody here ever applied for a job online before? Doesn't have to be a teaching job. Like it could be any other online job. Okay, there's a few yeses, a lot of no's, and a couple of yeses. No, 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 yes. If you're watching the replay, pop it in the comment box too. Okay, so let's look at some myths. Okay, here's some myths, but so you can type true or false in the chat. Okay, so there's 3 questions. Okay, so let's bust some myths over here. True or false? You must be a qualified school teacher to be able to teach online. Okay, so you can put no. Okay, so do all your things together. You need expensive equipment. You must speak another language. Okay, I see lots of false, 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 false. No, 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 no. Okay, good job, guys. I haven't seen any truths over here. So well done. Okay, so you don't have to be a qualified school teacher. You don't need expensive equipment, but you do need equipment that works, but you don't need expensive equipment. And you don't need to speak another language, you just need to be able to speak English. Okay. What online teaching actually looks like? Okay, you teach students from around the world. You teach the students from your home if you want to teach them from home. You have flexible hours. You can use prepared lesson material. Okay, if you're working for ESL company, you would get prepared lesson materials. Obviously, if you're working for a marketing platform or you're working for, if you're an independent teacher, you're going to have to get the materials. But there's a lot of companies that actually sell materials nowadays. So you would be able to buy like a curriculum that you could use, or there's so much free stuff available on the internet as well. So there's always lessons that, and you could also prepare your own lessons if you wanted to go that road. The only thing with preparing your own lessons, it's great in the beginning, and I used to do it all the time in the beginning, make my own lessons up. But as soon as you start getting a lot of students, it's difficult to keep it up, okay? Because say you had 10 students a day, every day, it's 10 lessons you're preparing every day for a student, okay? It becomes a lot. So sometimes it's great just to have a curriculum that you can fall back on. And what would you guys, are you looking to work mornings or evenings? What's better for you? Or afternoons? Mornings, mornings or evenings? If you work evenings, obviously you can have your other job and you could do that in the evening, both evenings. Okay, for me, myself, I don't really work in the evenings anymore. I used to in the beginning, but I mostly teach Chinese students. And so I usually start at maybe 10:30 in the morning until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. If I'm doing, that's kind of when most of my bookings would happen on a Saturday and on Sunday. I start at 3:30 in the morning because it's weekends and they are at home, and because of the time difference. Saturday is a very long day for me. I like kind of do a 12-hour shift almost. But Sundays I work from 3:30 in the morning till 9, and then I'm done for the day. But the rest of the week, I kind of start somewhere between 10 and 11, sometimes at 12, and I work until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was winter vacation. It's just been winter vacation now, so my hours were a bit different. I worked like a lot of morning times, whereas like my afternoons and my evenings were more free. I have one German student, so I kind of teach him in the late afternoon because their time is kind of similar to us. So when you know what kind of time you're wanting to work, like, or what's available to you, then you know, okay, I need to look for students in this time zone. And then you can look for a company that caters specifically for those time zones. Okay, so like if you're wanting to work evening hours, you're going to have to look for maybe like Eastern European or European students. This is for if you're from, I think we've mostly got South Africans and Lesotho and Nigeria, okay, kind of the same time zone. If you're wanting to work mornings and afternoons, you're going to look for your Asian students because they're going to fall into that category. And also like South American students, you would be able to teach at night as well, or in the early hours of the morning. So you kind of have to look and see what suits you for your time, and then you're going to start looking for companies that fall into those time zones. Here's a quick question. How many hours a week would you like to work? Type it in the chat. Let's have a look. Who wants to work part-time or full-time? 20 hours a week, Esther says, okay? 40 hours a week, full-time. Full-time, full-time 35 hours, 10 hours a week, 20 hours. Okay, these are all like important things to decide. Like it's important to know, okay, how many hours do I want to work a week? What sort of times do I want to work a week? Because that's going to narrow down what kind of companies you're going to start to look at. Because there's no point applying to companies and then it doesn't fulfill the things that you need the company to fulfill. Maybe it's the wrong time zone. Maybe they're not going to offer you enough hours, or they're making you work too many hours, because some companies have a minimum amount of hours that they want you to work a week. Part-time for now, 40 hours, 25 hours to 30 hours. Okay, if you're watching a replay, pop it in the comment section. Let's have a look and see what you have, how many hours you would say. Okay, start imagine yourself doing it, okay? Like think about it. These are the things, like these are the questions you have to ask when you start teaching. Imagine yourself doing this. Okay, this is how many hours I could cope with. This is how many hours I could manage. Like if you break it down, and like for me, 5 hours a day is pushing it, okay? Like at this stage. Whereas when I first started teaching online, I would work 8 or 9 hours a day, easily 10 hours a day. On Saturdays, I do have a long shift. But the majority of the time, I'm working 5 hours. If I work 6 hours, I like, oh, that's very long. But because I earn more an hour now, I don't have to work so many hours anymore. So for me, that's like a nice amount of time to work. It still gives me time to do other things that I want to do, like this that I'm doing now. Okay, so why is the demand growing for English? English learners are worldwide. Okay, people want to learn English worldwide because there's so many reasons why. A career, people want to earn. Okay. At the moment, my rate is probably between $20 to $25 an hour. When I started teaching, I started with $7 an hour. So, like if you think about like when you get to that stage where you can push your rate up, it helps because then you don't have to work so many hours. Okay, so like I would have to work 3 hours maybe to earn the same as what I'm earning in 1 hour now. Okay, English learners like are worldwide. Okay, so like for your career opportunities, okay, people want to learn English because they want to further their careers. They want to learn business English because maybe they are in an international company. Like I have 2 business students. I mostly teach kids, but I do have 2 business students. Okay, they are in a very, very big global company. Okay, they have to be able to speak English to be able to communicate with the teams around the world. Okay, so they have to learn business English. They have to learn the phrases, the vocabulary, all of those kind of things that people would use in business. Okay, so it's a very big demand worldwide. Okay, because English, obviously, if you have a company that's meeting and you have someone from America, someone from the UK, someone from France, someone from Spain, someone from China, someone from Vietnam, someone from India, they all speak different languages. Okay, and so English is the language that they would use for their meetings because it would be the common language for everybody. So a lot of people want to learn business English. People want their children to learn earlier to help them to have better jobs when they get older, or to be able to travel when they're older, that they speak English well. Some people want to learn like remotely, okay, and that's why they hire tutors or they hire people to help teach English. So did you realize that students come from like literally all over the world? Okay, sometimes you might even find that you get an American student because maybe somebody has moved from one country, maybe let's just give an example. Say they moved from Hong Kong and they now live in America. Okay. And their English isn't brilliant, so they're still going to have to learn. They have extra lessons. Or I have a German student who is actually Chinese but lives in Germany. So he's busy learning German, Chinese, and English. Okay, so all three languages. And so you get this kind of thing. I have some French students who are actually also Chinese, but their parents live in France. Okay, so they learn French and Chinese and they learn English. Okay, so this is how it goes. Okay, so many in the beginning, you feel really overwhelmed because there's so many platforms and there's so many companies online. That's why having a clear starting plan makes a really big difference. Okay, so that you don't feel like some of you were saying in the beginning, you just don't know where to start. Like everything becomes so overwhelming and becomes too much that you end up not starting because it's just too overwhelming and you don't know what to do. Okay, so let's look at types of teaching jobs that you get. Okay, so you get company teaching jobs, okay, which is like the ESL, okay, the traditional ESL school kind of companies where you would go teach. You mostly, a lot of them cater towards kids, okay, and that's where you would go and you would get training, which is really awesome. You get the materials, you get the students. It's a safe place to work. You get paid twice a month or you get paid once a month. But the downside is that most of them only pay $5, $7, $10 an hour, okay? So they pay a lot less. But it's a great starting point if you don't have any experience, because this is where you're going to learn how to teach online, because you're going to get fined every time maybe you do have a mistake, okay? And you don't want to get fined. You don't want your money to be taken off you. So you're going to become a really good teacher because you're going to make sure that you're never late for class, that your tech works, and that you are sorted every time. Okay, like the company I started with, you had to even clock in the morning, like way long before, like an hour before your lesson started. You had to go and clock in. Like there was literally this button that said clock in. And if you didn't do that, then you would be fined. Okay, so there's all these kind of things they teach you to be, and it's just, I guess, so that you get into the habit of checking out what you need to do for the day. Okay. Then you get like adult platforms that just cater towards adults and they cater towards business students. Okay. Maybe like a lot of these might be like in your European companies and stuff. Okay. There are these that just cater towards business students. Okay. Then once you've got some experience, I wouldn't say start with private students. Okay. If you don't have any experience, it will be very difficult to start with a private student because you really won't know what to do. That's why working for a company first gives you that background that you can take. And even if you've been a teacher before, I can tell you this, teaching online is completely different to teaching in a classroom. Completely different. And then there's private students, independent teachers. Okay, that's like kind of the same thing. Then you get the marketing platforms, which I forgot to write down here. But marketing platforms are great because it's kind of a bridge between working for a company and being an independent teacher. You have more, this is where you're looking at Amazing Talker, Preply, italki. Okay, you got more control over your schedule. You can set your own rates, and a lot of the time you need your own materials. So it's like a bridging between the two. But the students come from them, okay? So like you have to learn how to market yourself. That's why it's called a marketing platform. You have to learn how to market yourself on those platforms. Okay, some of you have already answered this. Which sounds more interesting right now? A lot of you have said company teaching. company, adults and private students, company. Okay. If you've never done teaching before, company is definitely like your ESL companies or your ESL are definitely the safe option to start off with. It's going to feel the least overwhelming for you guys. And you don't have to stay there forever. You can stay there for a couple of months and then you can move over to a marketing platform and then eventually go independent, depending what you like to do. Okay, so let's look at this poll moment. Okay, be honest right now. How do you feel? A, excited. B, curious. C, nervous. Or D, overwhelmed. D, C. There's an A, excited. A B, A and C. Okay, B, D, A and B. Okay, so you guys are a bit of a mixture of everything. Sometimes you can feel all those emotions, right? Like you can feel excited, but you're still nervous, and you can go from being nervous to feeling overwhelmed all at the same time. Excited, wishing that I've already started. Good. I like that. That's really good. Okay. So what you actually need. So there's some simple starter requirements that you do need. Okay, number one is you have to have a laptop or a computer. Okay, someone the other day said to me, okay, they can't come onto this because they don't have a laptop and they don't have, and they're not able to get one. But then I said to them, like, this is like your requirement, okay? Without a laptop or without a computer, you don't have a business, okay? You can't do this without those things. So unfortunately, that's one of the main things that you do have to have. Then you have to have an internet connection. Okay, this is very important, and a stable internet connection. So I think for those of you that come from the cities, obviously internet is probably a little bit cheaper around there, and you can probably get like really good fiber, and it's not too difficult to get. And I would say with the internet connection, like having a backup connection to it, so like having data on your phone or just something in case the fiber lines go down or the internet connection goes down, that you have a backup and you don't have to cancel lessons. Okay, having a good headset, and I would definitely say like having a noise cancelling headset is really important. Like these ones of mine are off Take a Lot, and they're like a gaming headset, so they have the noise cancelling microphone on them as well. You do need a quiet space, which is quite important, because especially if you're working at a company in the beginning, like if there's too much noise around you, they're going to fine you for noise as well. So a quiet space is good. Like find somewhere where you can shut the door, that there's no distractions. Leanne says she has everything. And like a fan even helps sometimes. Okay, like if you put a fan on, it can help with noise as well. Okay, I see lots of people have everything. And the TEFL certificate. Okay, and I'm not going into the TEFL certificate today, but pop over to, I'm going to put my YouTube channels here again. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, right? Go pop over if you haven't got the TEFL certificate and go watch the things on the TEFL certificates. Like, there's no point going and doing those free TEFL certificates, okay, that you do get. I'm not naming the name of the free TEFL certificate, but if you have that, it's red flagged, okay? You aren't going to get a job. Maybe you might be lucky and you get a job by a company, but most of them have red flagged those free TEFL certificates. I'm not saying that you need a very expensive TEFL certificate. You don't. You just need one that's recognized. So make sure that when you apply to a company that you have what they require. Okay, that you have the kind of TEFL. TESOL is fine. TEFL and TESOL are the same. They're both recognized, okay, equally. Okay, so I see most of you have most of those things. Some of you are still working on your TEFL certificate. Okay, but those are kind of the basics that you need. And from there, you can start adding onto from that. Okay, most people are already closer than they think. They just need help putting everything together properly. Okay, most of you have all of these things, but you just need to kind of put everything together. Word TESOL came to me. Okay, good. Okay, your setup reality. Okay, you do not need a fancy setup. Okay, you really don't need a fancy setup. You just need something that's simple, clean. Okay, that's all you need. Lots of teachers start at a kitchen table. Okay, and they just make sure they've got a blank wall behind them or they put up a screen. Okay, I'm busy moving offices at the moment and I'm waiting for my room to be ready that I'm going into, and so I'm temporarily in this room. Okay, I don't like the background is like dark, it's not ideal. Okay, but I'm only going to be in here for a week or two and then I'm moving to another place. I'm moving into a different room. Okay, so I've just like kind of put this. So I just kind of, when I do my day, I move closer and this is like, and I fix my backdrop, and then that's kind of what my backdrop is for the day. But I've taken out some of the things today, so they're not very neat. Okay, so you do not need something very fancy. Who of you have got your space sorted out already? Where you're going to work from? Do you all have somewhere to work from? You can have educational posters pasted on the background if you want to. I do have mine. I haven't put them up in here because I'm just going to have to take them down again. I do actually put kids' art on mine as well because I mostly teach children. But you can just have a blank wall as well with a bookshelf with a pot plant on it if you're teaching adults. Like if you're teaching Asian students, they like bright, colorful backgrounds. Okay. So I often get my students to send me pictures of that they've drawn. So that's what I mostly have. I don't have it up now because I'm busy moving around and I don't want to put them up and take them down again. They're going to get messed up. But I've got some of my students drew pictures for me. Okay, and I use those on my wall and a little bit like an ABC chart and stuff. So that's kind of what you need to do. Cassie, most of you have sorted your space even, which is really great. And so I bought my educational posters charts from bargain books, but you can also get them off like for quite cheap off Temu and get them delivered to you. Like they are quite cheap. I think Take A Lot also sells them as well. Yes, so your daughter's art, you can keep some, you can put up some of that stuff. It looks like kid, especially if you're teaching children. You can make it look nice and bright and colorful. Okay, biggest fears, beginner fears. Okay, like what worries you the most about getting started? Is it confidence? Is it technology? Is it getting hired? Or is it something else? Every new teacher feels this way in the beginning. The teachers who move forward fastest usually have support and feedback while they are busy getting prepared. Getting hired. Lots of you have that fear. Okay. Confidence, technology, getting hired, and making the video. Okay. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Okay. I just wanted to say, like, the teacher that moves forward the fastest usually have support from someone. Okay. And feedback when they're busy getting prepared. Getting hired to demo video, technology. Okay. So income expectations. Okay. What are you guys expecting to earn? from teaching online? Like, have you thought about it? Have you thought about what you need to earn to make this worthwhile for you? Like, what is your part-time income that you're thinking of? What's your full-time growth possible? Like, have you thought about this? Like, where do you want to go with that? Okay, so have a conversation with yourself. Okay, have an honest conversation with yourself and think about, like, what do you need to survive in the month? Okay, and when you get started, like, if you are going to work for an online company, which I think most of you are going to start there, and you'd say you were getting, say, $7 an hour or $8 an hour, then you have to work out, like, how many hours do you have to work a day to be able to earn the amount of money that I need in the month. Okay, so like you got to kind of look at that when you're busy applying as well. And consistency in this industry matters more than speed. I hope to equal or better my current income, and I'm happy starting low and working myself up. And you know, Alison, that like really does work. Like it does. Like you're not going to stay in the same place forever. And that's like why you prepare yourself and get help and get started. $15 to $20 an hour working for a company full time. Okay. So you have to look at what your expectations are. And when you apply, you have to look and see, okay, this company is not going to fulfill my expectations. So you want to like search for the correct places to actually apply to. But being consistent is really, really important. And that's what I teach people in my teaching membership as well. Like being consistent, like really like every single day, showing up, being there when you say you're going to be there. That helps you to grow fast, okay? Because like once you get to the marketing platforms and once you start working independently, this is so important to getting more students. Like a lot of my students come from referrals because I'm consistent and I never don't pitch up, or I'm always helping them and answering questions when they're wanting questions answered. And so I've had the same students. I've had some students for 5 years and 4 years and 5 years. They've stayed with me for that amount of time. Okay, so my students all refer other people to me. So when I'm needing, like, I don't actually have to go and look for more students because they arrive from referrals. Okay, 20 to 30 a month. Okay, starting low and growing. Okay, it's good to put down all these goals and really think about it. I have this mosquito that is flying around here all day, night long. Okay, there's some common mistakes. Is teaching online difficult in your view? I think when you first get started, maybe it's a little bit difficult, but the more consistent you are and the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Like you have good days and bad days though still. Like if your tech doesn't work or your internet breaks, and that makes it really difficult. Like I would say, like for me, that's my biggest stress point is if my internet is not working. Okay, so common mistakes. Applying too early. Like when I'm saying applying too early, I mean like first I want you guys to, before you apply, make sure you first got which we're going to talk about this stuff tomorrow. Getting your resume sorted, getting like your resume, your CV sorted, getting your introduction video done, getting your cover letters done, making sure you've done your photo, like getting all the things prepared first, then you start applying. Okay, because when you apply and suddenly they ask you for an introduction video and they ask you for this and you haven't done it, that's when you're going to give them not good things because you haven't had time to prepare it properly. Okay, so get all of those things done first before you start applying. Okay, so these are big mistakes. Like these are the things that are going to get you chucked out. Applying too early, weak resumes, poor introduction videos, no guidance. Okay, we're going to look at all of these things tomorrow. Like, how many applications do you think? Okay, I want you guys to answer this question. How many applications do you think teachers sometimes send before they're getting hired? Preparation really, really matters. Okay, so this is a mind shift for you guys a lot. 50 plus 10. Okay. Because just think about it. If you're not prepared and you suddenly start applying to all these places, but you've got no introduction video, you haven't had anyone check your CV, like your CV is not correct, your like these are all the things that are going to get you, like every time they're going to say no, 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 no. Okay. Okay, this one scares me. Okay, 10 plus. Okay. Because really, if you're not prepared, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot. Okay. So you've got to change your mindset. Okay, this is the average. Many teachers apply 20 or 30 times even to companies and they never ever hear back. Not because you can't teach. Okay, that's not the reason. Okay, it's not because you can't teach. Sorry, I just wanted to let some people are really late coming in to we're almost at the end. But I'll let them in. Okay. And it's not like lots of teachers really do apply 20 or 30 companies and they don't even get a response back. And it's not because you can't teach, okay? It's not because of that reason, but it's because nobody showed them what hiring managers actually want, okay? So tomorrow we're going to start with the solution to all of this. Okay, today is the background. And tomorrow we're going to look at the solution to it. Okay, so what I don't want you guys to do is like you just go and randomly find companies and you randomly apply to these places. Okay, they're not in the right time zone, first of all, for the times that you guys have said that you're wanting to work. It's not going to offer you the amount of money that you're wanting to earn. It's not going to give you the amount of hours that you're needing to work either. Okay, so these are all important things. Okay, then plus you haven't done your CV, you haven't done your cover letter, you haven't made your introduction video, and you haven't even thought about the demo lesson that you're suddenly going to have to do. Okay, these are all the things that you need to be prepared with before you start getting hired. Okay, and tomorrow we're going to start looking at all of those things. Today we've done a good background, I think. Okay, so good news is you don't need perfect English. You don't need a teaching degree. Some companies do ask for a teaching degree, but there's lots of companies that don't ask for a teaching degree. Okay, and you don't need expensive equipment. So don't let the thought of expensive equipment put you off because you don't need expensive equipment. You can get by with those things that we talked about earlier. Okay, you just need those things are the most important things. Obviously your laptop or your computer is going to be the most expensive thing, but most people do have a laptop or most people do have a computer nowadays. It's something that you can have, and like you could go to a cell phone company and get a computer through them on a contract, couldn't you? Like I know in South Africa you can do that. You can go to MTN and Vodacom and you can actually get a computer as part of your cell phone contract. Okay. So what you do need is you need preparation. You don't need to figure everything out alone before starting. Okay. Thanks, Gertie. Okay, so let's have a look here. So you have an action task. I always give action tasks because I'm a teacher. Okay, post in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. Why do you want to work online? Why do you want to teach online? Okay, number one, why do you want to teach online? And number two is one fear that you want to overcome. Okay, so before we end tonight, I want these two action steps put in here. Why do you want to teach online? And tell me one fear that you want to overcome. It's a pleasure. Retiring and cannot sit at home doing nothing. Awesome. Okay, I like that. What's your fear though, Rena? What fear do you want to overcome? I love to work with people. Working remotely to study part-time. That's great, Janice. That's really good. Manage my time. Procrastination. Okay. Big thing. Fear to overcome. Being rejected by students. Flexible working hours. Okay, we want to get you to that stage where you're not going to feel that rejection. Fear is not getting hired, bored at home, need an income, work from home, and overcome techo challenges. Fear, knowing what is exactly what to do. I just retired, but teaching is something that I really enjoy. Work from home. You know, for those of you that have said that you've retired, like on companies like, there are companies like Amazing Talker, and there's a few other companies that you can actually, you don't have to teach English. You can like even teach other things on those companies. So they're really great for teaching other things if you wanted to do something that wasn't actually just teaching English. Working remotely, not getting hired, battling to get students. I want to travel. English is my second language. I love being a stay-at-home mom. I know this is great for stay-at-home moms. Want to overcome low self-esteem. The company I work for got liquidated and battling to find work. Okay, Sharon. Retired, bored at home, need an income. Okay, fear, power failure. Power failures. I know. I tell you, if that does happen again, then you have to look, that's like one more thing you probably have to add on to your list, and that's like an inverter. Okay, if we do get to that stage again, it really is a savior. It really does help. Working from home and overcoming fear of interviews, fear of rejection. Okay, fear of introduction videos. I know, it's so scary in the beginning. Working from home, gaining experience. Okay, guys, I love it. You guys are putting your action steps in, and it's really important to think about these things. Okay, so day 2. Tomorrow we're going to look at resume. We're going to be looking at resumes and the mistakes that people make on their resumes and why company rejects your resume before you even get started. Introduction videos that really work. We're going to look at that and what hiring managers actually look for. Okay, so we're looking tomorrow is all about get hire ready. Okay, like how can we get ready? So tomorrow is a big day. Okay, today was like easing you into it, thinking about what we really want for ourselves. And tomorrow we're looking at getting hire ready. Okay, I'm just going to pop that YouTube channel back in here again. So make sure that you guys have subscribed to it so that you get all those other videos that are on there. There's like really a lot of info that you guys can use for yourself. I've been trying to build it up slowly. But there's quite a lot of videos on there now that will really help you. Okay, so there's a bonus at the end of this. So attend all 3 days. And you will get an online teacher starter kit, okay? It's got templates in it and a complete hiring roadmap in it, okay? So this is a great freebie for you guys. Like this is going to become like a paid item from me, but for you guys that are coming to this boot camp, this is going to be like a really great freebie for you, and that you can take it and you can use it, and it's going to help you a lot. Okay, I think that was it for me. Okay, before you leave, but I'm going to open the comments in a minute. Type in the chat, one word describing how do you feel now? Like some of my community members that are in my community, in my teaching community that I have started exactly where some of you are right now. Okay, I see excited. I love it. Motivated, excited, motivated. If you're watching the replay, pop this in the comments too. Hopeful, excited. Great, I love it. Okay, over the next 2 days, I'm really going to help you avoid months of frustration that many beginners have. Okay, I am going to quickly make this go out of the share. And now I'm going to see all of your faces because I didn't get to see you all before. Wow. There's so many of you there. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. I just want to take a screenshot of everybody that's here so that I can keep it for the freebie. Wow, there's so many of you online. Congratulations, guys, for really making the effort and coming and joining in tonight. And for those of you who have got your cameras open, well done. That's a really good step in preparing yourself to teaching online, right? Because you have to get used to seeing yourself on camera. And I think for a lot of people, that is like a scary thing, is to actually see yourself on camera, especially the first few times. Okay, do any of you have any more questions? If you do, pop them in the chat box now and I'll try to answer some questions. Otherwise, I'll see you guys all back tomorrow. I don't see any more questions. Okay, guys, so I am going to end this off tonight. Well done, everybody, for coming, and have a really awesome night. And so remember, tomorrow you can just log in again with the same link as what you had today, and it's going to be the same time as tomorrow. If you hear of anyone else that wants to join in, then share the details with them as well. So the more the merrier. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.